Yours in there? Okay. Like I said, I'm a giver, right? I like to help, and if I knew you like really, really, really well, and I trust you, and if I have it, Zelly Pay is the way to go, right? All Zelly Pay, and well, I'd rather, hey, I'll meet you over at the corner to give you my $10, borrow $10 or whatever. I help people, and as long as you pay back, and if I have it, I help. That's the kind of guy I am, okay? And that's kind of how I grew up in the Perkins family from Obashing. Yeah, Margaret and Bill Perkins were my grandpa and grandma. Mother, Armella was my mother. So if you know them or not, but that's where I come from. So I was actually born here in Red Lake. And but Mom moved us out of there because things were getting bad, So, but things were bad over there. They're bad all over. But yeah, no matter where you go. But anyway, so at the end of my class, what I do is, you guys are actually getting a short version of it. So when I do this, and there's 12 sessions for this class. So in this 12 sessions, you complete them successfully, you get a certified certificate. I'm a certified facilitator. I go every 2 years down to Phoenix, Arizona to get certified. And I've been doing it for 10 years. I love it. I fell in love with it from day one. And because, like I say, I tell people, especially in addiction, I go into the treatment centers. I go into county social workers, child welfare, Beltrami, Itasca. I'm over at Four Winds. I was in Obashing for 3.5 years. I was over here in Red Lake for a couple of years. So I just kind of moving around and bringing this stuff to the people. And it's 12 sessions. You successfully complete 12 sessions. Depending on, for treatment people, if they're on a 45-day stay, we do 2 sessions a week, one night, for 3 hours. Or if they're in a long stay, I do 1 session a week and 12 weeks. Then after 12 weeks, they get their certificate signed by me, and if there's a counselor or a case manager involved, they sign it. If it's a solo, I sign a certificate. The certificate is acknowledged in our county and tribal. So if you're looking at, you have children in child welfare and got to go through the loop, jump through the hoops to get them back, this is one that is acknowledged as a parenting class. So tell others about it. It's legit. I say it this way, loud and clear. If I didn't think it was any good, or if I didn't think it was successful or effective, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing it. I'd be sitting on a lake. I'd be doing something else. This is what it means to me. So, because, long story short, yes, I went through addiction or use, and I struggled, but I put it down. I never looked back. I got involved with stuff like this, and I do this with a passion. I do it with a passion because I think it's my turn to help. I want to help our people. I don't care who we are, where you come from. I don't care, whatever. I'm here to help our people. That's why I do what I do.
So we do this one, and you go back to where's that place called? We go to all the time for our meetings.
Warriors Down? With Jason and them,
Yep.
Tom Barrett?
Warriors Down.
Yep, I'm working with them. We're working on a contract, so I'll bring this. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So like if we're doing 7, we'll be doing 8.
No, if it's brand new, we'll start right from day 1, right from session 1 right up. So, and let's say, we say I start in 2 weeks, and if 7 comes, and you guys could probably stay home for session 7. But I encourage you not to, because I've been doing it for a long time, and I still get something out of it.
I want to start from 1.
You want to start from 1? All right, we'll get a hold of Jason. On the evaluation form, when you guys put that in there so that we can help speed the process. Because you know how it is in tribal programs, that everybody drags their feet, it takes forever to get a contract through or get through the paperwork and so forth. But anyway, back to Gary. I've been sober a long time. I don't really brag about my years because it's not important. It's just that what's important is I'm sober today. Right. And I've raised 4 children as a single dad. And my children, I have 5 biological. The fifth one, the first one, seen the really bad stuff with her and her mom, and it was all alcohol. Alcohol takes us on a different path. My other four, never seen. Yep. The other four children never seen me drink. My oldest of that four remembers looking in the sink, parties, after parties, everybody cleans up the house in the living room, beer cans go in the sink, and you ever do that? Anyway, that's all he remembers, but he's never seen his dad drink, smoke. I quit smoking cigarettes before I quit drinking, because I was working in the mines, and I was smoking, drinking, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, and I just breathing that taconite dust, and I says, man, I'm just doing a triple whammy on my lungs. I want to live a long time. I want to live a long time, So I put the cigarettes down, and that's when the prices went up anyway. So anyway, that's me in a nutshell. Like I said, I'm no different than anybody sitting here. I had my fair share of struggles. I've been on that road, but I put it down and I never looked back, and here I am today. And this is me giving a small piece. Young people, I encourage you to, listen. Listen from, because my kids, once in a while, they say, oh, Dad, you did it. I said, yeah, I did. I said, but if it was any good, I'd still be doing it. So. All right, we'll get started here. Yeah, running out of time. But anyway, the dollar token, we'll get at the end of I'll smudge them first, and, here they are. I'll smudge them first, and I give them to you as a token. I love. Oh yeah. Thank you. I get carried away, and I love to talk. I talk too much sometimes. I'm going to smudge the coins out first. You want to take everybody around? I always get prepared, and I was a couple days ago trying to get ready. I was up last night. I was up this morning. I work for behavioral health for Leech Lake. I'm the holistic health spiritual care coordinator for that program, and I've been working for Leech Lake for about 26 years. I never thought. Prior to that, I never worked for the tribe. I was always construction or a logger. So I only had 3 careers in my life. I was a logger for about 10 years of my life in the early part when I realized I was not getting anywhere. Then I went into building trades. So I was a millwright for 15 years, building car plants and paper mills and so forth. It was good work, but I knew I wasn't going to stick to it. Good benefits, good pay, but sometimes you do things, what you like, what you enjoy, and I established a little pension, so I'll be able to draw that here soon. But here I am. I get to do this is what I enjoy the best. It's election time on the Minnesota Chippewa tribe, and they say, Gary, you going to put your name in the hat? I said, I like what I do. I don't have time for politics. Huh?
Are you on the ballot?
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to do it. So. People are mean out there. So this here session is session 7. There's 12 sessions. Like I said, I picked this one just because it coincides with our. Just put it down here. It coincides with the conference today. We're all able and capable of doing what we're supposed to be doing, but it's a result of unwise choices that kind of steers us off that path. So I chose this session is because barriers, there's always barriers, there's always obstacles, but as long as you stay focused and maintain, be true to yourself and follow and live by the 7 grandfather teachings, we still make mistakes, we still make poor judgment, but that's just part of life. I always say it this way, we're here to experience life, period. We're here to experience it. And if you make a mistake, you get back up and brush yourself off and keep moving forward. Don't drown yourself. Don't self-medicate yourself. Just keep moving forward. So I read along. You fill in the blanks. Session 7, their objectives is to understand and identify the barriers to being teachable. And we always start with the bottom. Go to the first page. The building block, bottom one is creator. First page. Bottom one is creator. Second one is choice. If I go too fast, say baker. Creator, choice. Choice. Next one is teachable. It's not a spelling bee, so don't worry about it. I'm not going to grade you. But I am going to grade you on the completions in order to be eligible to win that brand new car. Second to the top is wisdom. Wisdom. And service. These are the core principles that govern this curriculum. Creator, choice, teachable, wisdom, and service. Now, these barriers to being teachable, they're going to talk about the educated people, the wealthy people, the religious people, the unbendable, closed-minded people, and everyday where we are today, which is the addiction. So I will read. I will come to your answer. Write it in. If you write big, I always tell people on the note side, on the left side, write your name and just draw a line to that line where it's supposed to go. So, because sometimes I write big. So, and that's. Don't worry about trying to squeeze that letter in there. They'll make it very big. Here we go. Barriers to being teachable. The Fatherhood is Sacred, Motherhood is Sacred program has identified 5 general categories where resistance to being teachable may exist. A person's pride and their belief in their own individual importance is a common theme in these examples. And the first one is educated. 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 Here you go. I'll help you along. Fall behind, just there you go. Educated or accomplished individuals. Educated or accomplished individuals. Often people may acquire education through intellectual ability and opportunity. Their attitude might be, hey, I know a lot. Look at my academic accomplishments. So NAFA says, how can you teach a person who knows everything? Here's the second one, wealthy. Wealthy individuals. Some wealthy individuals may carry an attitude like, look at what I have. I do not need the help or understanding of others. My wealth can meet my needs. So again, NAFA says, how can you teach a person who needs nothing? Third one, individuals with rigid religious beliefs. Religious beliefs. Some individuals are so rigid in their belief system that they are unwilling to learn and understand other points of view. Religion can and should be a great benefit to humankind. Unfortunately, leaders of cults and religious zealots have oppressed people under the name of religion. Throughout history, almost every war has deep roots in some religious ideology. So again, how can you teach a person who believes he is the only right one? Remember now, these are barriers to being teachable. People who are unbendable. People who are unbendable in tradition. People with closed minds often hide behind tradition and fail to develop new traditions that could potentially be very valuable. Traditions are good unless they hinder people from learning additional truth. So again, NAFA says, how can you teach a person who has a closed mind? The last one, people experiencing addiction. When someone becomes dependent upon something, that person chases after it and is addicted to it. Their energies and focus go into the addiction rather than into the truth of becoming teachable. They become slaves to the addiction. So again, have you ever tried to reason with a drunk? Yeah. He laughs. Yep. Oh yeah. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Especially when I had a 12 pack or half a case in my. We may hesitate or refuse to learn and understand truth because some consider it old-fashioned. Some feel it's impractical and does not apply to everyday life. However, just the opposite is true. Now, here we go. Specific behaviors that obstruct being teachable. Barriers can make us prisoners to ourselves and may severely limit our potential for healthy family relationships. Personal pride. Pride is a proven downfall and destruction of many people, even entire nations. It is said pride goes before destruction. The proud often find it difficult to accept authority or are prone to rebellion. They are not interested in changing their ideas or opinions. Their goal is to win and to rule. They are not interested in what is right, but somebody take a stab at it. Who? But who is right? Which is themselves. Right? The following are characteristics found in prideful people. Personal importance. Personal importance. Pride turns into selfishness. Grateful and selfish and unforgiving. Withhold love and unwilling to forgive. Eventually drives family and others away. Away. Be aware of pride. Few ever overcome it. Prevents a person from asking for help or apologizing. Quick to find fault in others, but rarely see it in themselves. Quick to find fault. Pride. Pride limits or stops personal development and progression. Pride. Pride limits. Uses their knowledge, wealth, talents, position, or any other strength against others to achieve their desire to win and control. Boastful, arrogant, conceited, vain, and obsessed with own status and reputation. Keeps one from searching and understanding truth, even when truth is clearly defined. Here's a little reading from CSW. Pride gets no pleasure out of having something, only out of having more of it than the next man. It is the comparison that makes you proud, the pleasure of being above the rest. Once the element of competition is gone, pride is gone. Here we go, selfishness. Selfishness creates self-centeredness, self-importance, self-pity, self-fulfillment, and self-gratification. Self-evaluation above others. Lack of understanding in relationships. Lack of tolerance. Today, selfishness is so common, it appears to be a natural way of life in our society. It has been said, selfishness is is a true defect of our nature. Our ancestors knew the suffering and damaging effects that came from one who is selfish. It is our belief that selfishness is the root of most problems. They also understood that how you give determines the nature of who you really are. Hey, maybe that's where I got that from. When you are selfish, you think first of your needs and yourself. You do not share time, feelings, talents, or possessions with others. Relationships often fail because of selfishness. True. Here's a reading. Albert Pooley is the founder of this curriculum. Here's a little reading. In my professional experience, the three biggest reasons for divorce are selfishness, emotional immaturity, and laziness. Although many other reasons may be given, the biggest reason is selfishness. Albert M. Pooley. He's the founder of this curriculum. He's a half Hopi and half Navajo. He's retired and he's seen a lot of work, seen a lot of families, a lot of destruction, And he put this curriculum together, and I went down 10 years ago. I've been doing this for 10 years. I put it down during the pandemic, but I went there. First time I went to this class, this training, I fell in love with it. I said, this is it. This is what I like. And I've been doing it ever since. My first graduate, when I came back to Leech Lake, my first graduate was an elder. An elder came to me and he says, Gary, I already raised my kids, but I'm raising my grandkids. I've seen the curriculum. I'm going to take your class. She successfully completed, and she loved it. So I knew then I had something. She was my stamp. Here we go. We're going to talk about these barriers. Selfishness, complaining, laziness, criticism, defensive, envy, jealous, gossip, hatred, revenge, lying. We're going to touch on them. Complaining. Here's a person. Blames. Accuses. Poor attitude. Whines and protests. Do not want to be responsible for their own actions. Often brings formal charges that are not verifiable. Expresses dissatisfaction or resentment to whoever is around. That's a complaining. How about laziness? Procrastination. I'm not lazy, but I'm a procrastinator. I'm a master.
Somebody is lazy.
Yep. You're going to stray. This will trigger, probably yourself, myself even. Lack of direction. Form of, we are on laziness. Lack of direction. Form of rebellion. Another good one is not willing to work. I want a handout. Set unrealistic goals. Waste time with idleness. Wasted intellect and talent. Do not realize their potential. Daydream or fantasizing often. Lack of discipline or courage to meet challenges. Failure to accomplish goals that lead to success. There's your laziness. Criticism. Shames others. Harsh or unfair. Condescending. Puts others down. Holds others back. Refuses to accept rules. Finds fault with or makes fun of others. Leads others to be left out. Defensive, angry, resistant, argumentative, self-protective, threatens others' security. Isolates self from personal actions, unwilling to draw close to others and solve problems. Loses acceptance of others, becomes unwanted. Confused. And scared. Yep, scared, but does not let others know it. Uses anger or disagreement. Uses anger or disagreement to keep others from getting to know them. Control, judges, threatens, and attacks individuals instead of problems. Problems. Does not look at the whole picture, only their point of view. envy, coveting, greedy, lustful, resentful attitude. Envy never has enough. Jealousy and distrustful. Wants something for nothing. Wants. Desires to possess what others have. An old Danish proverb says, if envy were a fever, the entire world would be ill. How about jealousy? Oh, that's a sensitive one there. I was a jealous person when I was back in using, and it was terrible. Jealousy, ill will, distrustful, suspicious, possessive, loss of love. Loss of love. Closed-minded, holds grudges. Leads to fighting. Fighting. Jealousy, wants to get even. Brings fear. Brings fear to others. Brings rage and contention. Believes gossip, rumors, and lies. Sees things that are not real or true. Wants to control another person or situation. Here's gossip. That is such an awful, terrible thing. If you take a cup of confetti outside on a windy day and watch it blow away, it would be easier to gather up all the confetti than it would be to undo the harm caused by gossip. True story. Words are cruel, speaks untrue words, starts and spreads what?
Lies.
Rumors. Lies would work too. NAFA says rumors. Listens to and believes lies. Lies. And hold on. Starts and spreads rumors, listens to and believes lies, starts destroying. Starts destroying someone's reputation. Those are really harsh people to deal with. They are out there. It's just like a negative force always fighting with the positive force. There's always the positive, always fighting with the negative force. Yep. Huh? Yep. Hatred and revenge. Bitterness. Bitterness. Extreme hostility. Likes to see people suffer. Likes to bring fear to others. Brings harm to family and others. Will start trouble and disturbances, eventually consumes and destroys your entire life. Teaches children to hate. Hates even his own blood. Or hers. Despises others, persecutes, brings injustice, oppresses, and rejects others. Here's another reading. Anger or being angry does not solve anything but builds nothing, but can destroy everything. Think about that one. Lying. Listens to lies. Condemns truth. Fraud will cheat you. Speaks badly of others. Closed mind and heart. Does not keep promises. Takes advantage of others. Makes untruthful statements. Hides hate and anger with lies. Turns their back on loved ones. Changes truth into lies. Will deny truth. willfully and knowingly destroys others. Destroys. Withdraw from people. Lives in misery. There's lying. How about deception? Uses flattery. Find webs of lies. Lives a double life. Does not know how to love. Subtle falsehood or hypocrisy. Pretends to be spiritual or religious. Intend to mislead another by trickery or untruthfulness. Easily breaks promises. Brings people down and starts rumors. Teaches others to lie. Makes people do wrong and bad things. When people begin to weave a web of deception, the following three examples are common threads used to gain power, control, exploit, and to win favor. Half-truth. Many times people will not believe a full lie, but will fall for a half-truth. Flattery. Telling people what they want to hear and believe about themselves, not what they need to hear. Using people to get what you want by saying insincere things. And that last one, ignorance. Ignorance. Keeping people from knowing the truth to get what you want or to justify your actions. Here's a little story of manure. I'll pick on, what's your first name again? Eden. So if I gave you a box and a gift of manure, would you accept it? Horse manure?
No.
No, you wouldn't. Of course not. Okay, but what about this? What if I wrapped the box in beautiful paper and sprayed it with perfume and cologne? Would you accept it now? It's still manure, right? It's still manure. I'm leading up to something here. But what if I tell you this is special manure? It comes from the white buffalo calf. Would you accept it now? Maybe? No, you wouldn't, because you know it's still manure. Even though it came from the white buffalo calf. This is still manure no matter how it is packaged or presented to you. This is an example of deception. No, this is just a story. I'm just doing a story, not in your book. This is a clear story about how someone clearly wants us to believe the manure is something other than the truth. This is the fine example of deception. Can you change the substance by something by wrapping it in a nice package or presenting it well? Yes, you can change the substance. You can't change the substance, but you know it's still manure. Deception. Here's another reading. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to deceive. This is your barriers to being teachable, what you just absorbed here with these teachings. You know, as the body, I got it on the board, but you can barely see it. But as the body and the soul, we all need nourishment, just like a tree. Every one of us. We need nourishment. The air needs nourishment, the water, the food. The food you make, I love the saying, you make the food your medicine, not the medicine your food. Does that make sense? You make the food your medicine, not the medicine your food. That means we got to go back to not eating at McDonald's. Where do we go when we want to get hungry in town? We go to McDonald's, Burger King, eat that processed food. You ever see the little demonstrations they do with the hamburger and for McDonald's? You can leave it on the shelf for weeks. It'll still look the same. There's your diabetes and all the other high blood pressure and everything else like that comes. We got not only, again, that we need a nourishment to love, truth, peace, and freedom. That's the spirit. This is the part where the body, So we have the spirit in our body balanced. We can somehow, some way find our path. And in closing, I use this one example. I use a mirror trick. So I always say, and I pick a person out, and I'll say, I hold the mirror up, and I say, what do you see in that mirror? And I hold it in front of them, and they'll say, I see myself and everything behind me. So I says, for us to move forward, you need to remove the mirror so you can move forward. And it's okay to take a glance backwards, occasionally, just a glance. But if you want to continue your path, live in that minimum modesty win, you continue, remove the mirror so you can move forward. And understand the teachings. Understand the 7 grandfather teachings. Understand, use your language. We need to have that language. That language is our foundation. Everything that comes with us. Doesn't matter what your spirituality is, what your faith is. Number 1 is your Anishinaabe Moen. Aho, miigwech.